Ignition sequence starts. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. Liftoff. We have a liftoff.
Hey everybody, this is the Digital Asset Investor, and I just got back from my 6-month checkup with the doctor, and it looks like we're in good shape, at least for the next 6 months. Okay, I want to remind everybody before I get going is that link to, it's a promo for today only until midnight. They're giving you $1,000 of XRP if you make a purchase on the platform, and I think that includes if you just initiate a transfer. So it's for accredited investors. Go check it out. I'll put a link in the top of the description. Bitcoin Magazine new. We are working proactively with the SEC to convert GBTC into spot Bitcoin ETF. That's the Grayscale CEO. So now we have not just Joseph Lubin, but also Grayscale is actually able to sit down and have a conversation with the SEC and actually work on things to get things done. Everybody else, unless you're Bitcoin or Ethereum related, everyone else, because this is why they did it, it was to try to create a monopoly. Everyone else will get put in the stack of stuff. You can't go in there and they'll tell you that, well, just get you some lawyers and da-da-da. But if you're Bitcoin or Ethereum affiliated, since they're trying to create a monopoly, then you can talk to them all day long. They might even help you. Okay, that's the story there. Now, I'm not going to play this video. Well, yeah, I'm going to play the first part because I want you to see something. This is not sustainable.
Up another brutal reading on inflation. We just got the latest March Consumer Price Index numbers, and the CPI saw a yearly increase of 8.5% year over year. Wall Street estimated that number to be closer to 8.4%.
Look at that. Gasoline up 18.3%. Fuel oil 22.3%. Look at this. Car rental and trucks, airline airfares. Folks, the people will just shut down and they'll stop buying things and doing things. This will destroy the economy. Tipsy Tiger had put this out, and he makes a very good point. Never forget how much runway Ethereum were given thanks to the SEC. Never. And he's making a very good point here. Look where the SEC lawsuit was dropped, right? I don't think the lawsuit, well, yeah. Right up, yeah, December 2020, lawsuit dropped. Look at what happened for Ethereum after that time period. This is not an accident, folks. And all of the Bitcoin and Ethereum maxis out there, they will have you believe that somehow what's happened for Bitcoin and Ethereum has anything to do with their technology and how great they are. It has absolutely nothing to do with that. It has everything to do with the fact that those two were given clarity while everything else was left in purgatory intentionally, while the SEC in closed door meetings tried to help some of these people create a monopoly for Bitcoin and Ethereum. That's what was done. They didn't think anybody would find out, and we did find out. Jeremy Allaire says Circle today announced a new $400 million funding round and new strategic partnership with BlackRock focused on USDC. This is a huge milestone on the road towards mainstream adoption. It's huge. Remember, the guy that runs digital assets for BlackRock, he was from Ripple. He's the one that actually worked with Susan Athey to create I can't remember what they called it. But it was a formula for what the XRP price should be. And also don't forget that USDC runs on Stellar. Now, I have this out of place. Let me see where I wanted to put it. I think I wanted to put it somewhere right in, no, wrong one, right here. I wanted to put it right there. Let's go back to here. Alex Mashinsky from Celsius Network. Remember, Celsius is that app where you can go and you can earn interest on your crypto. I think there's two important things to get out of this, and I'm going to give you the gist of it because I'm not going to go through his whole thread. The gist of it is that he's saying that they've been working with regulators, and that now for U.S. customers, they're launching a custody solution for U.S. users and introducing some changes. And the changes are basically this: new transfers made by non-accredited investors in the United States will be held in their new custody accounts and will not earn rewards. Verified accredited investors in the United States will be able to add new coins into earn yield, where they will continue to earn rewards. Non-accredited investors can continue to swap, borrow, transfer. In other words, Gary Gensler and friends, as I pointed out here, this is Gary Gensler protecting retail investors from high yields while he hooks up his accredited buddies. So now only Gary Gensler's rich JP Morgan friends can go and earn yield on their crypto. This is what we're dealing with, okay? John Deaton weighed in right here. He says, verified accredited investors in the United States will be able to add new coins into their earn accounts where they will continue to earn rewards. Wow, only accredited investors. Gary Gensler is the enemy of the working class. Shame. All right? And then I tweeted this. And see, this is a true story. I know this is a scary thing to hear, but I've always thought that Gary Gensler has made comments like this about crypto being for accredited investors. And there is one thought pattern that I have in studying all this. And that thought pattern is that these people's intention is to have Bitcoin and Ethereum be for retail and institutional, and then have all the rest of crypto be only for accredited investors. This is what would keep Gary Gensler's friends rich, right? Now, Ripple has always made no bones about the fact that XRP was not, Dilip Rao said it. He said that the retail side of this is not what they're working on. Now, that does not mean that we're not going to be allowed to keep it, okay? I don't want to scare everybody. I believe there's a scenario where this lawsuit ends and we do get to keep it, you're grandfathered in or whatever. But I do think that Gary Gensler, part of what his intentions always were, is to make all of crypto besides Bitcoin and Ethereum where you have to be accredited. And so I don't think there's a scenario after the shit storm that has been created. I don't think there is a scenario where any of these, I don't think they're crazy enough or big enough jerks, maybe more specifically, to even think about not letting you at least be able to sell your XRP for a good price, because they know how bad that creates even more damages than they've already created. It's not something that's at the top of my worry list. I'm just saying, I think that's what Gary Gensler, or that's what he probably wanted to be able to do out of the gate. Okay, so moving along, TAIG. Well, would you look at that? Wang Zhang Blockchain Institute received 416,000 Ethereum during their ICO. It's right there. Okay, so that's obviously a Chinese group. And then he's showing you this. China's digital yuan wallet now has 260 million individual users. He's showing a lot of the different financial. We know Gary Gensler, not Gary Gensler, but Jay Clayton and Bill Hinman were working on the Alibaba IPO over there. And then I think we've kind of covered a lot of that stuff. I went and I Googled this organization, and here's what pops up. Now it's called blockchainlabs.org, but if you go down, it's very Bitcoin, Ethereum centric down here. What is Bitcoin mining? Ethereum and smart contract. What is DAO? Public and private blockchains. Anyway, it's obvious that they're all about some Bitcoin and Ethereum over there in China, right? Now, then Stefan Huber brought out this gem. Boom, Hinman, when he was director of the Division of Corporate Finance, met Lei Ming Chen personally in Washington. a client of Simpson Thacher with whom he did the Alibaba deal, and who works for Ant Financial, the company that wanted to buy MoneyGram at the same time. Remember when Ripple bought MoneyGram, or not bought, but they worked a deal with MoneyGram. Anyway, so look at this. In 2014, the firm set a new record in its representation of Alibaba Group. The firm was awarded Global Final Deals of the Year award, and corporate partners Lei Ming Chen of Hong Kong and Bill Hinman Palo Alto were recognized as Deal Makers of the Year. And then this is an email from Hinman to Daniel Fertig in 2017. Congratulations on your new post. I've been meaning to write to you to say so. Lei Ming sent me a nice shot of the two of you when he visited DC recently. I hope you are still managing to take enough time at your house in. Now, then he goes, here's the picture of these two. Lei Ming Chen's kind of hard to find, by the way. Alipay, Lei Ming Chen, Lei Ming Chen, Lei Ming Chen, Alipay, Matrix Acquisition, MoneyGram International. You see what the dealio is here, folks? Now, Ethereum, this is today, folks. And what I say when I see this is former Ethereum developer Virgil Griffith. He's been sentenced to 63 months in prison for traveling to North Korea to give a talk on blockchain technology. This guy went to North Korea, gave a talk about blockchain technology, and he is going to prison for 63 months. And then you've got over here, remember the disguised whales in the Ethereum ICO that Joseph Lubin was bragging about? How many of those whales were doing various potentially illegal things? How many of those were North Korea or China or Russia or a terrorist organization? How many of those did Joseph Lubin help? Nobody knows, because we haven't had an audit of the ICO. The SEC doesn't care. Congress doesn't care. No individual congressman care. The Chamber of Digital Commerce, none of them seem to care. None of the crypto organizations. The crypto media doesn't care. CNBC doesn't care. The only people that seem to care and seem to see this stuff for what it is are the people out here that are watching this XRP lawsuit, and they know that this thing stinks and that something is bad wrong in the United States of America. That's the only people, and I'm not done yet, folks. TAIG says this is huge. The Ethereum Foundation's main address has sent Ethereum to 20 addresses. Number 1, 2, and 3 all look like they were used to make founder payouts. I believe we are looking at disguised whales right here. Okay. Then we've got this. Remember in my video earlier today, this Shiba Inu thing. I don't think they saw this coming either. Remember what I was showing you about Shiba Inu? Now, I'll never forget it because I remember watching the video. It was a while back. I was watching Vitalik Buterin in an interview, and the guy asks him, he says, yeah, what about Shiba Inu? The founders who are anonymous, are they anonymous whales or what? But the founders of Shiba Inu, who they sent you Shiba, like half the supply, the created supply of the Shiba Inu token. They sent half of it to you. And Vitalik was like, oh yeah, I people from various projects send me tokens all the time. And he intentionally gave the impression that he did not know the people that were creating the Shiba Inu. And if you watched my last video, you know that's not true. All right, now watch this.
Shiba had an initial supply of 1 quadrillion. 50% of this supply went to the initial ETH SHIB pool on Uniswap, and the remainder was sent to Ethereum founder Vitalik Buterin's cold wallet address by Shiba Inu's founder. The reason why Rayoshi did this is not entirely clear, but it was likely for marketing purposes, since many other cryptocurrency projects have tried running campaigns saying Vitalik supports their project after sending their tokens to Vitalik's wallet address without his knowledge. Whether Vitalik had advanced knowledge of this token transfer in particular is something I'll dig into later. According to Vitalik, he noticed earlier this year that he had billions of dollars of a token called SHIB in his cold wallet address. At the time, Vitalik was a billionaire from his ETH holdings alone, so he figured that donating these dog tokens would be the best course of action. There's just one problem, and that's that Vitalik was stuck overseas because of the pandemic, and part of his cold wallet address was at his parents' home in Canada. After assembling the full seed phrase, Vitalik accessed his cold wallet and proceeded to burn 80% of the SHIB tokens he'd been given. He then donated the remaining 20% to various organizations and causes, notably the India COVID Relief Fund and an institute which specializes in longevity research. There are apparently other organizations which have yet to announce that they've received SHIB tokens from Vitalik as a donation.
Other organizations, I think he said 20%, and I'm assuming the other organizations, maybe they got around 10%. Folks, that's 10%. I think he said that the initial supply was a quadrillion. That's 10% of a half a quadrillion that went to these organizations that he just gave them to. That sounds like more disguised whales to me, folks. And if Vitalik, he put it out there like he didn't know these people that created Shiba Inu. But this morning, if you looked at my video, he's walking through a field with like two of them, I think. Apparently, there's two of them that he's walking with that were people at the Ethereum Foundation. This is crazy, folks. You and I wouldn't get away with this kind of thing. This is crazy. Listen to the rest of this.
This is important to note because it's been falsely reported that Vitalik burned 90% of his SHIB and donated the rest to just the India COVID Relief Fund. In any case, the total value of the SHIB Vitalik burned was over $6 billion at the time. It's unlikely that this money could have been cashed out because of market depth, but that's neither here nor there. And this brings me to today's last topic. Who the hell is Rayoshi? To my understanding, Rayoshi's identity has yet to be revealed. However, what we do know about him suggests that this whole Shiba Inu saga didn't happen by accident. Rayoshi's first Medium post finishes with a rare photo of Vitalik Buterin in Japan, presumably during DevCon in 2019. The man in the brown jacket is apparently Rayoshi himself. If this is true, then Vitalik may be the anonymous friend Rayoshi credits for creating the Shiba Inu smart contract and providing the initial ETH liquidity for SHIB on Uniswap. More importantly, it's not just Vitalik who's in that photo. Ethereum Foundation Director Aya Miyaguchi is also seen walking with the group, which presumably contains individuals of similar stature.
Now, look, maybe none of these people did anything wrong, folks, but I will show you this one guy's comment because I thought it sounded interesting. Looks like a tax fraud. This is not me saying this, folks. I'm just showing you what this guy said. Looks like a tax fraud. Create a token, donate it to yourself, pump the living shit out of the coin, burn 40% of the total supply, then donate the rest when the price soars to get a max tax write-off. Did anyone at IRS or CRA investigate this? Whistleblower alert. Just another one in a long string. And folks, and then on ProCoinNews.com today, which is the official sponsor of the digital asset investor fishing and hunting club, Robinhood lists Shiba Inu and Solana. So now, and then Coinbase is talking about listing Shiba Inu. So my next logical question is, what did all these, Coinbase doesn't just list anything. What did Coinbase, did the guys over there know anything about how this was founded and who founded it? Did who knows things we don't know? What's going on here? Moving along, Eleanor Terrett, we have Chris G and Carlo, aka Crypto Dad, on Fox Business at 3:30 p.m. to discuss this morning's announcement. Chris G and Carlo tweeted, "This is historic, first pilot of any kind of USA CBDC and first major CBDC pilot in the world, initiated entirely by the private sector. Digital Dollar Project, the DTCC." Anyway, and this is what they're doing right here. This is from the DTCC. How would digital dollar work in the U.S. market infrastructure? How can DTCC's clearing and settlement capabilities be used to support a CBDC? Project Lithium sets to find out. Okay. Now, I don't know if XRP is involved in this. Here's what I can tell you is two things. First thing, Christian Carlo works for the law firm, is it Wilkie Farr? I think that's what it is. And he does in that capacity represent Ripple. The other thing I can tell you is that when I met him at Bitcoin Miami, not this year, but last year, I was standing there talking to him, and he knew who I was, and he said, I cannot talk to you about Ripple. Right out of the gate, I can't talk to you about Ripple. So he's obviously under either a privilege or NDAs or whatever. So those are the things I'll tell you there. Now here he is talking about this on CoinDesk.
Announcements about pilots, and some of them will involve more retail use in payments and to test it out with underbanked populations and in global remittances and others. But we're starting today with this wholesale pilot experiment.
Interesting. I am curious, Chris, about what entities will be involved. You mentioned the DTCC, but what other private entities will be testing this Project Lithium prototype?
Which ones?
And will there be nodes operating, and who would operate them?
Yeah, so more detail to come in the weeks to come. Today's our first broad announcement about this project. As you know, DTCC is a membership organization. Its members are basically a who's who of American financial legacy institutions, the major banks, and other financial service providers. And so the engagement of Project Lithium will be will include a lot of its member organizations. So it's a broad range. But as I say, this is an institutional pilot. Other pilots that we'll be announcing will involve more counterparties that are on the retail side.
When you say who's who, I wonder, can you give us a taste of who's who?
Not at this stage.
Okay.
Our announcement right now is really just a bilateral one between the Digital Dollar Project and the DTCC.
Right. So he's not going to say anything, but I'll tell you, as I sit here, I've always thought that this would involve either XRP or Stellar, XLM. I've always thought that. Then I saw this from Perianne Boring. You know, she wore her orange suit to Bitcoin Miami, and then she was being interviewed here, and she's all worried about, proof of work mining. And I said, imagine what could happen for Ripple and John Deaton if the Digital Chamber or Perianne Boring expended 1/10 of their energy helping them. You are a crypto industry group, after all. Nice Bitcoin orange outfit, by the way. I like Ripple blue. That's what I said to her. We will keep calling them out until they do what they proclaim that their industry organization is there to do, and that is to support the industry, not just Bitcoin and Ethereum. I'm the digital asset investor. I'm not an investment advisor. This is for entertainment purposes only. Please subscribe, hit the like button, and tell your friends and family that as of right now, we can only tell you that Chamber of Digital Commerce represents Bitcoin and Ethereum only, not the crypto industry.